I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. This storytelling is for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Let's start the show. Youth on the go. Let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. We have really been on the go, and it has been an exciting week. It continues to be an exciting term, I think, with so many different things happening. We saw this past week a few other track and field, school level track and field meets, and so commendations to the team at the Charleston Primary School, EPPS and CSS, who successfully hosted their meets last week, during the course of this week. And so we are looking at the upcoming week, and we know that we have quite a few meets happening as well. And so tomorrow we will see the Jinxing Up Classics will take place tomorrow, and we will have representation from the Gingerland Secondary School. So the Gingerland Secondary School will compete in the Jinxing Up Classics this year. We wish them every success as they participate in the meet, and we encourage everyone to go on out and to support the student athletes as they continue to develop, as they continue to showcase their skills and talents and their growth in the area of track and field. We know that there are also several other school meets happening this week or in the upcoming week. And so in addition to supporting the Jinxing Up Classics, which of course will take place at the Kim Collins Stadium on St. Kitts, so you will have to travel to St. Kitts to witness that event tomorrow at 12:30. Then on Tuesday, we will see the Nevis Academy's sports meet on the 24th of February. The Nevis Academy will have their meet at 12 noon at the stadium, followed by Ivor Walters on the 25th and Joyce in Liburd on the 26th. All three meets will take place at noon. So we encourage you to go out and support the schools this week as they have their school sports meets. Following that, the following week, we'll see Maud Cross Prep at 12 noon at the Nevis Athletic Stadium on the 3rd of March. The 4th of March, we have St. Thomas's Primary, and the 5th of March, Cicely Brown Integrated School. And then the 6th of March, the Violet O. Jeffers Nicholas Primary and the Gingerland Preschool. Viogen's meet will take place at their school's field, and the Gingerland Preschool have their meet at the Hard Times Play Field. So go on out and support them. At the end of that week, we go on over to the Bank of Nevis High School's Championship. It's right around the corner, March 7th and 8th. And that is an entire weekend of activity, excitement, and growth and development. And so we want to recognize that event and to start encouraging persons to attend. It starts at 12:30 at each day at the Nevis Athletic Stadium, and then we go into the following week, March 10th. St. James Primary will have their meet at their school's field, and VNJ's Preschool will also have their meet at the ETW Park on the 10th of March. March 11th, the St. Thomas's School, Naomi's Preschool will have their event at the St. Thomas's School field at 1 p.m. Then Montessori Academy on the 12th of March will have their sports day at 10 a.m. at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. On the 13th of March, Ines France Prix will have their meet at the St. Thomas's School field at 12:30. March 13th, Nevis International Secondary School at the Flats at 12 noon. And then March 16th, Vernon Loop Preschool at their school's grounds, 1 p.m. March 17th, Maud Cross Preschool at the ETW Park at 1 p.m. March 19th, Combermere Pre, VOJN School Field at 1:30 p.m. And on March 20th, St. John's Preschool, Bathfield at 1 p.m. And bringing the school level meets to a close, Charlestown Preschool, 24th of March at the Bath Playfield at 1 p.m. And then to close out the season, we'll have April 1st. It's not a joke. It's not a joke. April 1st at the Nevis Athletic Stadium, we will see the Inter-Primary Schools Championship. So many activities left, as I said, for the term. But we want to encourage everyone, as I always do, to maintain that balance. I know it's getting very tough. We know that in the midst of all of this, the deadlines for the submission of SBAs and the submission of other documentation for our May-June CXC exams is right here around the corner. The exams start in short order after the track and field season, and so our students are all in preparation mode to make sure that they also submit those documents, those IAs, those SBAs, to ensure that they are successful in the 2026, May-June 2026 sitting of their various examinations. So that's something that we have to keep our eyes on. And as I always say to parents, to well-wishers, the level of enthusiasm that we display, I love it. This track and field season, we get the support, we cheer them on, and we need to have you cheering our students on in all areas of their lives, including and especially the academic portion. So we hope that you are going to continue to be with them and commend them and push them along and encourage them, provide some motivation and inspiration so that they can develop holistically. That's our ultimate goal at any given time. So as I said, lots of excitement, lots of activities, but we want to ensure that we are focused and that we get through this very eventful term with our students still at the center of all of our planning. We also have a few other activities. I will go through the week ahead, and we have an event this evening, but I will go into more detail after the break. I will go through and share with you what this week looks like outside of the track and field space. That's just one space that we have, the track and field space, but there are other activities happening outside of the track and field space. So we have as usual, a very packed week. We have the Jinxing Up Classic, which I mentioned, which takes place tomorrow. On Monday, we have Monday is pretty clear day for schools. On Tuesday, we have St. Thomas's Primary School's African Heritage Concert at 9 a.m. and Nevis Academy has their sports day at 12 noon. On Wednesday, we see Ivor Walters Primary has their sports day at 12 noon, and Maud Smith Pre has their Black History Month concert at 10:30 a.m. On Thursday, EPPS has their Black History Dress Up and Historical Display. Gingerland Secondary has their Dashiki Day African Wear. Charleston Primary has their Black History Month concert, and we'll also have an OECS Pearl engagement happening with educational officials. The Joycelyn Library Primary School will have their sports day at 12 noon. On Friday, we see CSS having their History Day / African Wear, and walkathons. Many schools have their walkathons on Friday, including St. James Primary School, St. Thomas's Primary, VOJN, and Maud Cross Prep. There will also be Black History activities for Gingerland Pre, St. John's Pre, and the Charleston Pre. And Montessori Academy will have a cultural experience, and Charleston Primary and EPPS will have their house fete. So, as I said, the week ahead seems very packed, and we just want all parents to stay in touch with and in tune with what's happening over the course of the week so that we can navigate accordingly. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back.
Sugar City St. Kitts. Keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. An hour passes quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. This storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go.
Let's go. Good morning to all of our radio listeners, our viewers via Vaughn Radio's Facebook page and YouTube channel, and welcome to this edition of Youth on the Go here on Vaughn Radio. As I said, we are always honored and excited and happy to share with you any opportunities that are available for our students, for our young people across the island of Nevis. And we have so many events happening, as I stated before. This evening, all roads lead to the Nevis Performing Arts Center, NEPAC. And what's happening at NEPAC, you may ask? Well, this evening is the Black History Month concert, like no other. The Black History Month concert, hosted by the Department of Education. It's actually an interscholastic event, which means you'll have representation from several schools, starting from early childhood straight through to secondary. And the theme, Rooted in Africa, Rising in Excellence. Rooted in Africa, Rising in Excellence. The event will start at 7 p.m. and we can expect songs, we can expect to see some dances, spoken word. And it's a celebration of Black excellence and Caribbean heritage. The admission fee, adults $20, children $10, and of course all are welcome to attend and to support the students. We expect to see well over 150 students participating tonight in various ways. That's not a small number, and so we hope that they would give their best and that we would support them in giving their best. Remember, before the break, I spoke to the various components and areas of our students' development, and the arts is one such area. And of course, it's important for us to know our history, to celebrate our history, and to take some time out to recognize the journey that brought us here. And so we encourage you to support the students. As I said, they've been practicing, they've been getting ready. I want to say commendations to the team who has been working behind the scenes to make this happen, and of course all of our teachers and everyone else who has contributed in any way. It is once again led by the Department of Education, and so we commend the team at the department for their efforts as well. So parents, well-wishers, community members, those of us who just believe in supporting children, and those of us who just like a heritage experience, all are welcome, and we hope that you will be there to, as I said, support and be there rallying around our students this evening. The program has so many components, listeners and viewers, and I firmly believe that you will be in for a treat this evening. Outside of that, we also, on the Nevis Public Library end, remind you that the Nevis Public Library is currently hosting the Book a Time for Valentine's event. Valentine's passed, or Valentine's Day passed, but the event runs to the 28th of February. So we have just another week, and all you have to do, very, very, very easy. Very easy. All you have to do is go on down to the Nevis Public Library. There's a reading corner. You sit, you read, one of the books available in that corner, and there's a heart sticker that you can create for each book. You include the title of the book, the name of the author, and you answer a mystery question. Then all that, once you've done that, you qualify for a lucky dip, and you get to pick something that you get to pick something from the lucky dip box, and so that's your treat and your reward. Even though we know we want children to be intrinsically motivated to read, we also know that a little bit of extrinsic motivation doesn't hurt. So parents, please take your children down to the Nevis Public Library, give them a fair chance to explore the books and explore the space and to learn and to grow, and of course to read a story as part of this initiative. So thank you for that as well. The Department of Youth is currently hosting or is preparing for the Easter Camp 2026, and so the coming soon flyer was released yesterday, and the registration opens this Tuesday, and so you can follow the Department of Youth Nevis on Facebook and Instagram to find out more about Easter Camp and also to register. And parents, let me tell you, I know we get so caught up in term 2 in the track and field season, but I don't want you to miss the opportunity to get your children enrolled in Easter Camp, because at the end of the day, when we hit April, let's say April 2nd, which is the day after interprimary, and you realize that school will not be open on during the following week, that's when some parents remember that they have to find something for their children to do. So we want you to stay ahead of it, and amidst all of the other things that are happening, we want you to register for the Easter Camp 2026. Follow the Department of Youth Nevis on Facebook and make sure that you go through the registration on Tuesday. Once registration opens, follow the instructions for registration. It will be very seamless, very easy for you, and all we need from you is to ensure that you get your children enrolled, because it promises to be an adventure this year. Every year is an adventure. It promises to be an exciting one, and as usual, providing alternate ways for our students to learn, to grow, and to develop. So that's the Easter Camp 2026. Registration opens on Tuesday. Follow the Department of Youth Nevis's Facebook page and Instagram page. And my last plug for this activity is that you want to follow the page, because I think there might be some surprises on there on Monday and Tuesday for you parents, and I think you will appreciate the efforts of the team at the Department of Youth. And so please make sure that if you have not liked and subscribed, if you're not following the page, please make sure that you do so that you can get a sense of what is happening there and to stay ahead. In addition to all that, as I said, there are so many things happening within our ministry constantly, and so we also, from the debating front, the save the date has been released for the LIDC 54, the 2026 edition, and so persons who are debate minded and patrons of debates, and those who love to be part of high levels of discourse, those who are intrigued by public speaking, those who support young people, which that just means all of us out there in Radio Land, on YouTube and Facebook and all platforms. The date, March 11th to 16th, 2026. We are hosting, as I said before, and so the save the date has been released. You can expect big energy, bold voices, brilliant minds, and so we are going to show them as Nevisions how we shine, not only on the stage but in terms of hosting the event. So please keep your ears and eyes peeled as well. Over the next week, we will get to interact and engage with the debaters a bit more. And we know that they usually stop by on the radio at least once to interact and engage with us as well. And so we look forward to that. So as you can tell, so many different things happening. But I don't want for those persons who are interested in pursuing tertiary education to forget to reach out to the Ministry of Human Resources there at Pinnes Estate. The Ministry of Human Resources has released several scholarship opportunities, and so please make sure that you're following so that you can access those scholarships. You know how I feel about scholarships and the importance of our young people applying and showing interest and taking their time in completing the applications. There is an entire team at the Ministry of Human Resources responsible for scholarships, and so they can go through in greater detail to explain to you what is expected. There was a scholarship released this week, and it was the NIA MUA scholarship for 2026-2027. This is a really good scholarship, and so the NIA and MUA has had a long-standing partnership for the NIA MUA scholarship, and all persons are interested in applying for the opportunity. You can contact Miss Jalissa Martin Clark. She's a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health et al. You can contact her at 469-5521-6490 or reach out to min.health@niagov.kn.com. And there are several things that you would need to make sure that get done before the scholarship deadline. You want to make sure the scholarship deadline is May 15th. We have a little time, but a lot of things that need to get done. You must be, just by way of information, you must be at least 18 years old, a citizen of St. Kitts and Nevis, have at least 5 CSEC subjects, including math and English, and 1 science. You must be active in the community service, and we have opportunities for that within our ministry and across the island as well. You must be in possession of a university acceptance letter. So it's not a case where you're thinking about going to school. It's a case where you are poised and ready to go to school. The priority areas for 2025 include environmental health, health inspector, pharmacy, dental hygiene, medical technology, physical therapy, occupational or speech therapy, health educator, counseling, biomedical engineering, electrical engineering, waste management and environmental protection, health information management, occupational health and safety, radiography, supply chain management, social work, gender and gender development studies. So those are just some of the areas that for those persons who are considering applying for the NIA MUA scholarship should take into consideration. And as I said, there are several other things you'll have to complete the entire application. So there's a form. You have to bring your birth certificate or naturalization certificate, your police record, passport size photo, certified copies of your CSEC Cape passes, acceptance letter, the costing breakdown, letter of reference from a high school teacher, letter of reference from a community service organization with whom you've been working, and you have to write an 800 to 1,000 word essay stating your future goals and why you're deserving of the scholarship. Not too difficult, but very, very important that you start now if you're interested in pursuing. And as I said, reach out to the Ministry of Health. There are also others: the OAS scholarship, the UVI scholarship, Monroe University scholarship, the NIA financial assistance. As I said, several scholarships in circulation, so just reach out to the Ministry of Human Resources. At this stage, we will transition because it is the 3rd Saturday of the month, and so we'll transition to the ECCB's Children's Connection program, and after the break, we'll transition into that program.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have passes quickly. You don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio. It's youth on the go. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather round. An adventure is always waiting. There's storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, youth on the go. Oh, let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
When VON vibrates, the whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the Powerhouse.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real good living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome back to the ECCB Children's Connection program for 2026, the show where we learn how to be smart, how to be kind, and how to be confident with our money. I'm your host, Zahnela Claxton, and I'm flying solo today. Well, not really, because I have all of you out there in Radio Land flying along with me. And on our last program, Boys and Girls, we discussed the process of changing from bartering to the use of money. In this program, we will talk about saving and spending that money. So we went from how did money come about and how to effectively use money from that space of bartering. Now we look at saving and spending the money that we have now gotten so used to within our society. Let's take a quick break. But before that, make sure that you call up some of your friends, boys and girls. They need to learn this information. And when we return, we will get right back into the main lesson for today. So stay tuned. We will be right back.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real good living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Hey there, boys and girls. Welcome back to the ECCB Children's Connection program, a program produced and delivered by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Before we get started, I have some questions for all of you. I'm hoping that you are locked in and ready to answer my questions, at least to think about them. This is not the call-in segment yet, so these are just things we're going to think about for now, and we'll have an opportunity later on to call in to share what we've learned today. Imagine this, boys and girls. Imagine that someone gives you some money today. Pause for a moment and think. Would you save it or would you spend it? I know each boy and girl will make a different choice. Maybe some of us will make similar choices, but at the end of the day, I think we'll make our own individual or personal choice, right? So think about what you would do with that money. Would you save it or would you spend it? Now, boys and girls, there's not a right or a wrong answer. So if you chose to save it or if you chose to spend it, there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. But today, we're going to learn how to make wise choices with money. That's why our topic is entitled Saving and Spending. We're going to learn about how to make wise choices with our money. Now, I know our boys and girls would love to hear an interesting story, wouldn't you, boys and girls? Yes, and so I'll read a story for you, and it's about someone named Sam. Okay? Now, here's what I want you to do. Make sure you're listening carefully, because even with every story, there are so many lessons that you can learn. So let's go, boys and girls. It's story time, and the story is entitled The Case of the Missing Coins. The Case of the Missing Coins. Meet Sam. Sam gets some pocket money every week. One day, Sam looks into his pocket, and when he hears a jingle. Wow! I have enough money to buy sweets right now, says Sam. But then Sam remembers something else. Sam has been saving for a new toy, boys and girls. A toy that costs much more than sweets. Sam thinks, and he thinks, and he thinks. If I spend all my money now, says Sam, I'll feel happy for a little while. But if I save my money, he says, I'll have to wait. But I'll get something really special later. So Sam makes a choice. Sam spends a little money on a small candy treat, and he saves the rest in a jar at home. At the end of the month, Sam has enough money for the toy and feels proud, happy, and smart about himself. Rightly so, right, boys and girls? What do you think? Was it easy for Sam to have to wait a whole month to get that toy? I'm sure it wasn't, right? And the reality, boys and girls, is that waiting can be hard, but it can be worth it. Let me say that again for our boys and girls, because I know sometimes we get impatient, especially when we're in a society where we're accustomed to getting everything when we want it, right? Waiting can be hard, but it can also be worth it. So we also learned from Sam that you can't spend and save the same money at the same time. Now, let's explain these two important words. Savings means keeping money for later, boys and girls. So savings, I hope you have your pencil, you have your notebook, and you're writing your words. So the first one, saving, and saving means keeping your money for later. Okay? Spending means using money to buy something now. But both are important, boys and girls. So you have spending, you have saving. Here's a way to remember it easily. Saving is like planting a seed. Spending is like eating the fruit. You enjoy it right away. Saving is like planting a seed. You wait and it grows. Spending is like eating the fruit. You enjoy it right away. Smart children, smart boys and girls, just like all of you listening out there, learn how to do both. Okay? Boys and girls, do you think that businesses spend and save money like individuals, like people do, like mommies and daddies and aunties and uncles? Do you think that's pretty similar for businesses as well? Well, I'll tell you. Businesses and the government also engage in spending and saving. So it's not just individuals who have saving and spending opportunities. Businesses do, and governments do as well, boys and girls. Let's take a look at some of the examples of how businesses and governments engage in spending and saving. Businesses spend money to make more money. Does that make sense? Businesses spend money to make more money. If it doesn't make sense, let me break it down for you, boys and girls, because it's going to make sense just in a second. For example, if you wish to set up a lemonade stand, which could be a business, you will have to spend money to buy some lemons, some sugar, and some cups. But the money you make from selling the lemonade would be more than what you spent on the items to make it. At least it should be more than what you spent on the items to make it. So that's point 1. Spend money to make more money. Point 2. Save money to grow or stay safe. So we're looking at the spending front and at the saving front. So on the saving front, save money to grow or stay safe, boys and girls. Now, a toy shop, this is your example, a toy shop earns some money each week. Instead of spending all of it, the shop saves some of the money. If a popular toy breaks, the shop has saved money to fix or replace it. If lots of children want a new toy, the shop can use the saved money to buy more toys. If fewer people buy toys one week, the shop can use its savings to pay the bills and is able to remain open. So, boys and girls, by saving money, a business can grow and also stay safe when things go wrong. So that's just for us to take into consideration, for us to remember. Okay? And of course, there are other ways that businesses spend money. So yes, we talked about buying things, spending money to buy things to make more money, but there are other ways that businesses spend money. Okay? Now, for example, businesses spend money to pay their employees, to pay their workers, right? And for most of us, our mummies and daddies and aunties and uncles, and even some of our grandparents, because grandparents are much younger, some of them work for someone, they work for a business, and they get paid. So businesses spend money to pay their workers or their employees. Businesses spend money to buy materials, such as wood for furniture, if you have a furniture shop, or construction space, or if it's a restaurant space, they might spend money to buy the ingredients for the meals, to buy the food items. And businesses spend money on advertising, and this is important, boys and girls, because in order for people to know what services they have, in order to attract people to support their businesses, businesses often spend money on advertising. Now, there are benefits for businesses that save money. So we talked about some of the ways in which businesses spend money, and all of the ways we spoke about are important ways, they're necessary. Okay? Now, businesses have to also save money. Why? Why would they have to save money, boys and girls? Here are some of the reasons. 1, businesses save to buy new machines. For example, a bakery that sells bread and cakes and just general pastries every day can save some of the money it earns to buy a new baking machine or a special oven, which helps the bakery make more bread faster and in turn would be able to earn more money. So that takes us back to that same concept of saving and spending to make more money, putting it all together. Also, businesses save money for emergencies, because all of us know as individuals, emergencies might come our way, and as a business as well, they might face various emergencies. So businesses save money for emergencies, boys and girls. Any type of business needs to have money in place to ensure if there's an emergency that they could respond. A restaurant earns money from selling meals. Each week, the restaurant puts some money aside and saves it. One day, the fridge breaks and the food might go bad. Because the restaurant saved money, it can pay to fix the fridge quickly. And so you don't want to leave your food exposed and for it to go bad, because you will lose a lot of money. You've already invested that money to buy the food. And so it's important for you to use your saved money to get the refrigerator fixed so that all of your food doesn't go bad. That's one of the reasons that you have to have money saved for an emergency. Businesses spend to produce goods and services, and saving helps them grow and plan for the future. Boys and girls, governments do it too. So who pays for the roads, the schools, the playgrounds in your community? Okay, governments actually get money from taxes, from all of the adults who are paying taxes. When people and businesses pay those taxes, that's where government gets money from, for most part. Governments must choose how to spend money and how to save money. And boys and girls, I know that that's not an easy thing, but they have to do that, just like your mommies and daddies have to do it at home. Can you think of some examples of how the government spends their money? I'm sure you can think of some, especially since I've already given you a hint of some of the work that has to be done. So schools and teachers to provide books and books, to provide resources, to provide salaries for teachers and staff at your schools. That's one of the ways in which governments spend money. And of course, it's not just teachers and staff at schools, but you have persons who work within the hospital sector, within community services, social development, social work. There are several areas in construction through public works. Government pays all of their salaries, right? For roads and parks, they pay to maintain and fix them. Not just the persons who have to maintain them, but also the materials and resources needed to repair and to maintain those roads and other infrastructure or facilities that might be government owned. Government also spends money on police and firefighters for safety purposes, providing the resources that they need to make sure that they are able to keep all of us safe, including to ensure that they have the proper uniforms to go forward. So there are several ways, like I said, that government helps. That list is not exhaustive, and that just means it goes on and on and on. It's a long list of ways in which government supports persons in, or uses money and spends money and saves money. Okay, so we looked at how governments spend money. We're going to continue on, and we're going to look at how governments save money. Governments save money for emergencies, because we know, especially right here on this radio station, every final Saturday of the month, we see students coming in from across the various schools, and they share with us on various natural disasters and hazards. And so governments have to save money for emergencies. And if those things happen, there has to be money to be able to help the people and to rebuild the country. Governments also save money for future projects. For example, a government saves money each year in an emergency fund, and when a flood or earthquake happens, the government can use the saved money to fix roads, to help the people, and to rebuild homes quickly. Similarly, a government can save money over many years to build new hospitals or schools, and by saving little by little, the government can pay for the big project later on without running out of money. And boys and girls, we are coming close to the end of the main lesson for today, but even as we wrap up our lesson for today, I want us to recap the key messages that we learned. The key messages that were learned today. 1, saving and spending are choices that everyone makes. Saving and spending are choices that everyone makes. It's not limited to businesses, it's not limited to people, okay? 2, you can choose to save or to spend, or you can choose to do both. You can choose saving, you can choose spending, or you can choose to do both. And 3, individuals, businesses, and governments all engage in saving and spending. Individuals, businesses, and governments all engage in saving and spending. And so, boys and girls, that brings us to the end of the lesson for today. I hope that we learned a lot about saving And we learned a lot about spending individually, as families, as a country, through the government. I hope that we learned, and of course, business owners as well. And so we're going to take a break, and when we come back, it will be time for you to call in and to share just what you've learned from this morning's lesson. So we're waiting for you to call in after the break, and we are so excited to hear what you learned from today's lesson.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughn Radio.
Hi there, boys and girls.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real good living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back, everyone. Let's see what all of you recall from today, from the lesson about saving and spending. So give us a call at 469-1616 or 469-1700 for a chance to win some prizes, some cool prizes. And all you have to do is to be the first to call to answer some questions correctly. We have 5 questions today, and so we have the potential for 5 winners. And all of the questions are based on what we spoke about today. Question, and we'll read each question 2 times. When you call, just let us know which question you want to respond to. Question 1. If saving your money is important, what is the next important thing you can do with it? If saving your money is important, what is the next important thing that you can do with it? That's question 1. Question 2. True or false? I can either choose to spend my money or save it, but I cannot do both. True or false? I can either choose to spend my money or save it, but I cannot do both. Question 3. Give one example how a business can save money. Give one example of how a business can save money. Question 4. Give one example of how a government can spend money. Give one example of how a government can spend money. Question 5. Which of these 2 will help you to have enough money in case of an emergency? Saving or spending? Which of these 2 will help you to have enough money in case of an emergency? Saving or spending? Numbers to call: 469-1616, 469-1700. We've given you 5 opportunities, and for those who are watching online, the questions are on the screen for those on Facebook and YouTube, and so you can just review them. And we would love to hear from you. The questions, I think, are very easy if you've been following along today. And we want to have some students calling in and giving us their answers. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm good.
Okay, which question would you like to respond to?
Could I answer question 1?
Question
2, please.
Question 2,
Sorry.
okay. True or false? I can either choose to spend my money or save it, but I cannot do both.
False.
False. All right. What's your name?
Malika Dalton.
All right. Congratulations, Malika. I hope you learned a lot about spending and saving today. All right. Have a great week.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Thank
Bye.
you.
Have
Bye.
a good day.
Thank you, dear. All right. So we have question 2 is off the table. Congratulations, Malika. And boys and girls, I don't know what's happening, but we have to call in really quickly because the time seems to be running away from us. And we want to make sure, because I heard him try to sneak in the back door earlier. Oliver is right there waiting. And so we have question 1 available, question 3, question 4, question 5. 469-1616, 469-1700. Just tell us which question you want to respond to, and we will be so happy to let you get a chance to answer. Question 1, if saving your money is important, what is the next important thing you can do with it? That's question 1. Question 3, give one example of how a business can save money. Question 4, give one example of how a government can save money. And question 5, which of these two will help you to have enough money in case of an emergency, saving or spending? Okay, boys and girls, so we have just about 1 minute before Oliver makes his grand entrance. And we want to make sure that we give him enough of an opportunity to share with you, because our value lesson is equally as important as our other lesson. So I hear the wings flapping, which means he's right outside. All right, no callers lined up. So we are going to get a visit from our wise old friend, boys and girls, Oliver, and we'll listen for the value word for today.
Hi there, boys and girls. It's so exciting to see you back at Oliver's Treehouse. Our value word for this month is self-control. I once heard of a little dragon named Dino. Dino loved candy, chocolate, lollipops, gummies, you name it. One day he found a huge mountain of candy. His eyes sparkled. Yummy! But there was a problem. The wise old dragon said if you eat all the candy at once, you won't have any left for later, and you'll get a tummy ache. Dino really wanted all of the candy right now, but he remembered what the wise dragon said. So he took a deep breath, counted to 10, and decided to eat just one piece at a time. Days went by and Dino felt proud because he didn't get a tummy ache. He still had candy to enjoy every day, and he even saved some for his friends. That little Dino is called self-control. It's when you can wait, think, and make a good choice, even if it's hard. Now, back to your host.
Thank you so much for that, Oliver. That story about Dino was a great example, and it helped us to learn about self-control. Boys and girls, self-control means stopping to think before you act. It helps us to make good choices, as we learned from Oliver, even when something is hard or very tempting. That candy was very tempting for Dino. It's like having a little brake inside your body like a car. And the brake helps you to slow down and choose what is right, just as the brake in the car stops you from crashing and causing an accident. Imagine, boys and girls, you really want to shout out an answer in class. Your body says, say it now, say it now. But self-control says, wait, raise your hand. Or, boys and girls, imagine if you're angry and you want to hit. Self-control says, take a breath and use your words. And that's how important self-control is. And sometimes, even as adults, it's difficult. And so we encourage you, boys and girls, to practice using self-control. Why is self-control so important, boys and girls? And why are we talking about it? And why did Oliver raise it? Self-control helps us to be kind to others, to stay safe, to learn better in school, to make friends and keep them, and to feel proud of ourselves. When we use self-control, people trust us more. Do you think we can practice self-control? Boys and girls, I think so. I think so. Self-control is like a muscle. The more you practice it, the stronger it gets every time. Every time you wait your turn, you use kind words, you follow the rules, or you calm yourself down, boys and girls, you are growing your self-control. Can you think of an instance when you had to use self-control? I know you can, because we all have had to. And we're so happy that you were able to think about it and to reflect. We have come to the end of another ECCB Children's Connection program, and we are so happy that you joined us today, boys and girls. Until we meet again, I'm your host, Zahnela Claxton, and let's talk again soon. But until then, please make wise choices with your money. Always try to practice self-control, and remember to stay connected.